So a few months ago I did an apartment tour of the place I was staying in when I first arrived in Japan. But now we're settled in a more permanent place and it's going to be my base of operations for at least the next 2 years. So I thought today I would give you a slightly more personal tour of the new apartment and show you around. Okay, so this is the front door. Rather unremarkable, but we've got a peephole here, which is a little bit too bright to see through, and an even smaller peephole, which I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see anything through on the camera. So space is a bit tight in here, so I can't really get the angle, but this cupboard here, we have a small shoe cupboard. Well, I'm saying we have a small shoe cupboard. She has a small shoe cupboard, and I get to put my shoes on the bottom 2 shelves. These three pairs of shoes. That's all I'm allowed in that cupboard. So we live on the 2nd floor. As you transcend into the glowing light, and just a lovely little plant on the windowsill. And then we have a kind of a screen door here, sliding door. So let's go in. So this apartment is a LDK or an LD1K, 1LD, I can't remember. I can't remember the ridiculous system that the Japanese people use to list apartments. But it's kind of a split room, dining living room situation. So basically you get one large room here. We've got the kitchen at the back and then kind of a living area, but there's no divide, as you can see. It's just one big room. But it fits us for exactly what we need it for. So we'll start kind of in the living room area. This is our TV. We've got the essentials, mini SNES, Switch games, and some general crap. And my favourite game of all time, Taiko no Tatsujin, which is incredible. I need to play it more. But unfortunately the floor in these apartments, the floor can sometimes be a bit thin, so I don't want to be banging on the drum too much with neighbours who are concerned about the noise. Over here, I've just got another shelf full of manga. Lots of JoJo. Nice collection, and none of that is mine. But it's there, like a free library if I want. A lot of the windows in this apartment, as you might see, have kind of wire going through them. And I don't know exactly, but I'm almost certain this is just because of regulations for safety when it comes to earthquakes. Because obviously Japan being one of the most active countries in the world for earthquake activity, a lot of the buildings have to be built to a different standard that we might see in the West. So when I first moved into this apartment, I thought these windows looked a bit gross, but as I realised that it's pretty much impossible to get buildings without mostly these types of window installed. So yeah, we've got that. And then when we open the window here, you can see this screen net. This is to keep mosquitoes out in the summer, which is great because I fucking hate mosquitoes. And all of them live in Japan, literally every single mosquito. So thankfully it's winter now. It's nearly Christmas, but these trees down here are still holding out their own. I'm not going to tip the camera back up any further, but we do actually live right next to the train station. And on top of the train station you can see there's like a little rooftop garden. But if I show you where it is, then you will be able to pinpoint my apartment exactly. So let's head back inside. Yeah, so that's the living room area. We've still got a few little bits to do, but we basically moved in with all the furniture we had from the old place, so we need to buy some new stuff. We definitely need to get a new settee because I'm fed up of sitting on the floor. Whatever cultural differences I have, I cannot sit on the floor. It's just too uncomfortable. So let's move over to the kitchen. The kitchen's much nicer than we had last time. We've actually got a reasonably good sized sink here. So a nice big sink, a little drainer that you can remove, which is quite handy. And this down here is quite typical in Japanese houses as well. It's just like a little waste catcher, so all the food doesn't go down into the drain. But cleaning that out is probably my least favourite household chore. There's a little drain above here, which again is nice because the old apartment didn't have really any room for leaving things to dry, which was a bit annoying. I need to get some new bulbs for the extractor fan here. But again, we've got an extractor, which we didn't have before. And praise be to the unknown gods. Two burners, which is incredible. I mean, it's still not the kind of standard 4 that I'm used to in England, but I can now cook pasta and pasta sauce at the same time, and that is just a revelation in my life. There's also quite a lot of storage, so there's a big cupboard up there we can keep all the plates. Down the bottom we keep all the dry food and all that kind of stuff, and then here pots and pans, the nabe pot, the cooker, and then there's a little mini drawer here where we can keep some extra little tools and utensils just scattered around on the wall there. Everything's easily accessible. If we turn around, then we have the microwave, but this is also like a microwave cooker. So if you look in the top, there's actually like a grill up in the top there, which is great for something like microwave pizza. You can put that on there and it'll grill the top, get it all crispy. But things like bento, and you've got a whole bunch of options here. So like heating up like vegetables, even like coffee, milk, all that kind of, you can even do like root vegetables. So it's a great little cooker. It wasn't too expensive either. And it's brand new, so it's nice and clean. Hopefully keep it that way, because cleaning the microwave is never my top priority. So over here, the world's best device, the rice cooker, which you might have recognised from the last video, has a little song when you turn it on. But just rice cookers in general are just so convenient that the amount of rice I eat here on a daily basis, this thing saves me, because cooking it by hand is an absolute nightmare. So no kitchen would be complete without just a general shelf of random crap. So this needs to be expunged at some point. Maybe we'll put a bigger desk kind of thing here with a work surface, so we can actually put some food on here. So if you look over here, there's still not a lot of room to prep food and all that kind of stuff. So back over here, it would be nice to have like a work surface to put plates, cut food and all that kind of stuff. So moving this direction, the door here is the bathroom, and we also have the dial here which controls the water temperature. It even talks to you if you press the buttons as well, which is nice. In here, again, you might see my ugly face one more time. This awesome kind of, I don't know what you call it, like a vanity mirror or something like that, which is very nice. The switch here is a heater. So when you turn it on, not only does it turn the light on, but behind the mirror there's actually like a coil or something that heats up the mirror, so when you come out and it's all steamy, the mirror warms up and all the steam just evaporates off the mirror. It's really nice. Loads of storage for extra stuff. Once again, the last bathroom we had was literally just a sink, and it was in the shower room, so we don't really have any space for anything. So having a separate space for all that is great. Cupboard down there just for general bathroom cleaning, utilities and all that kind of stuff. And there's another cupboard up here which is just more cleaning and toilet roll. For the longest time I've wanted to live in an apartment with an electric toilet, and finally my dreams have come true. So this is not the most luxurious of models, but it's got all the most basic functions here. So this is the control panel on the side. You've got the butt washer, the greatest invention known to man, the bidet for the ladies, the water pressure here, so you've got high and low pressure, and then the ones at the back here which you can turn on and off with little green lights is the heated seat and heated water. This here is the best place to keep the vacuum, unfortunately, but down here we have the world's tiniest bin for tiny things. Over here there's a control panel for the shower room, so it's got the clock here, but it's got a 24-hour kind of extraction fan that's constantly drying everything. But here, once you've had a shower, press this button, it'll turn on kind of the high-speed extraction, get all the moisture out of the air after you've locked the door. So let's take a look at the shower room. Again, compared to our old apartment, much nicer because this is just a separate room. The bath is still ridiculously tiny, and I wouldn't really call it a bath because you can't really get in there, but it does the job. The same controller here that we have outside, but just a waterproof version. You can control all the water temperature from here and a few other features, which is pretty nice. And the shower up here. Pretty standard, extraction fan at the top. Down here there's a mirror and a little shelf here for when you're washing your hair and sorting out all that kind of stuff. And that is the washroom. So now this is the bedroom. So this room is actually one giant room, and if I swing the camera back round, you'll see that the doors are actually sliding. So here, the door slides open, and you can actually have one giant connected room if you want. But for the sake of having a little bit of privacy in this house and kind of divide it up a little bit, we keep this door closed, and it kind of just acts as a wall here. So this is the door. And we try to keep that closed, especially now it's getting cold in the winter. Try to keep the heat in one area. So speaking of heat, we've got the aircon up the top there. Only the one, unfortunately, it's a little bit high. So it does a good job of heating this room, but if you're in the kitchen or the living room, then it's pretty chilly. So out this window, you can see our fantastic view of someone else's apartment. But thankfully, they've got curtains up, and they tend to leave those up all the time. So they're obviously not fans of the neighbours, and we don't really have to worry about them peering in because that's always closed their side, which means we can have our curtains open and all the light comes in, which is pretty nice. So out the window here, this is where we have to hang our washing. This is the one thing that's worse than the old apartment, because we used to have a balcony, but now we only have this rail here, which is hanging. But again, it does the job. You can get quite a lot of laundry on there. There's a little 100 yen clothes dryer that I bought, and also on the side of the windows here you have these like hooks that fold down, which I believe are for hanging things inside. So there's a hook here, and there's another one just on this side if maybe you want to dry things but it's raining outside, which is going to start happening quite a lot as the winter approaches. So over here again, another frosty window you'll notice, but there's not really anything to look at out of here. If we open this window, it's just a wall of someone's house. So again, a fairly unremarkable view. So over here is my desk, which I finally have set up. In the old apartment, I was actually sitting on the chair here, using the table as a desk, and my PC was connected to the TV, which wasn't ideal. And it was very difficult to get anything done because we were using that as the main communal area. I really had to pick and choose any moments I had to do any kind of productive work. But now I've got a separate space here to just work and get things done, especially for this channel. So I'm being a lot more productive since I got this set up. The only bad thing about this apartment is that there's no built-in storage. So we have this big wardrobe here, but it gets most of the things done. We had to kind of strip back what we had kind of in there and pack some things away, but for me that wasn't so much of a problem. I don't really have enough clothes to fill up half of this, so thankfully for me it wasn't really an issue. So as I've been swinging the camera around, you might have noticed in the corner here we have a ladder, and that's because we actually have a loft here. So one of the cool things about this apartment, and one of the spaces we've yet to utilise, but I'm going to show you up there anyway. So as you can see at the moment, it's pretty much just used for storing crap. But we're hoping to, in the near future, kind of convert this into like a chill out spot. We're basically going to bring up this small sofa from downstairs once we get a proper sofa. So because it's much smaller, it will fit into this space much easier. And then we're going to bring up all these shelves with the manga on. Have a small little coffee table, maybe some bean bags and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a nice little hangout area for chilling out, especially in winter. They have some blankets up here and things, so it should be a nice little spot. So apparently in summer these lofts get really hot, so there's a fan over here which is used just to circulate the air, or the cold air coming from the air conditioning to make it not so unbearably hot in here. But we moved in just at the start of winter, so I'm going to have to wait a few months to find out exactly how that pans out. This is maybe the most historic artifact in the apartment, a crank handle window. It's a little bit gross, but this window is right on the top of the loft, so it doesn't really get used that much, and I'm not really that bothered about it. Okay guys, so thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the apartment tour, and I'll see you all in the next video. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.